No one in the Congress seems to be asking that. No one did until Marjorie Taylor Greene decided this is worth legislating. She represents Georgia in the U.S. Congress. She joins us with an announcement about new legislation pending. Congresswoman, thanks so much for coming on. So what do you plan to do about this?
Well, I find this absolutely appalling, Tucker. And, you know, the whole reason why I ran for Congress in the first place is because I'm one of the Americans that are sick and tired of our government allowing the abuse of the American people. But when it comes to gender-affirming care, which is really child abuse, this is actually an assault and it's child abuse. And this practice should never happen. It's so disgusting and appalling, and it's an embarrassment to our country. You see, I'm one of those that believes the Republican Party is only worth being a true party, worth deserving of the people's votes if we are willing to stand up and stop horrific things like child abuse and like so-called gender-affirming care, which is really genital mutilation. It's puberty blockers that cause chemical castration, teenage girls actually having their breasts chopped off, teenage boys being castrated. This needs to be illegal, and I'm introducing a bill called Protect Children's Innocence Act, and it would create a law that would cause it to be a Class C felony for any person involved in so-called gender-affirming care. That means genital mutilation surgery, that means hormones, that means puberty blockers, anything involving any youth under the age of 18, because these kids are too young to make these awful decisions that will affect them and will be permanent for the rest of their lives.
You cut the breasts off a little girl, you should go to prison, of course. You perform a medically unnecessary hysterectomy on a little girl, you should be in prison. So, I mean, I assume you're going to get every Republican vote for this.
You know, I should have every single Republican co-sponsor, but unfortunately I don't yet. I only have 5 co-sponsors. I'm talking to all of my colleagues and urging them because, Tucker, let me tell you something. This is a referendum on the Republican Party. When we take back the majority, if the American people elect us, we have a lot of work to do. Not only do we need to impeach Merrick Garland, we need to clean out the corrupt FBI. We need to hold the Democrats accountable and defund all of their climate garbage, 87,000 IRS army. But there's one thing that we have got to do, and we're not even a party worth deserving of the American people's votes if we cannot protect children from this horrific child abuse and create this to be a felony. Because this practice has to end. It's the kind of things nightmares are made of, and these are monsters under kids' beds that are doing these horrific things to them.
Yeah. Well, you can't sexually mutilate children. Sorry. And I hope you will send us a list of every Republican who's too cowardly to affirm the obvious. Once again, you can't sexually mutilate children, period. No. So thank you, Congresswoman, for what you're doing on this. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Tucker.